What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Commanders Guru. This is obviously my first ever video, and I just want to say welcome. This is a channel I'll be doing for fun. I'm obviously a Commanders fan, if you guys cannot tell by my name. And what I'll be doing on here is, mock drafts of the Commanders, videos about the Commanders who I want free agency reactions and opinions, record predictions, maybe even some post-game reactions if I'm feeling like it come the next NFL season. Because this season, let me tell you, the Commanders this year, complete disaster. Everyone injured. Everyone got injured. Dorance Armstrong, Trey Amos, Marshall Lattimore, Will Harris, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown, Larry Tunsil, Sam Cosmi. It has been the most injured season for any sports team in sports history. And because of that, we're picking number 7. One thing about me is that I love the NFL draft. And we suck this year, obviously, because we have fucking fourth stringers in the games. So, I'm really happy. So I can at least give you guys opinions, thoughts, and mock drafts. We love mock drafts over here. So, let's get in. Let's get into this. Something about me is that I know what I'm talking about the NFL draft. I know what I'm talking about. I know when players fall. I know when players rise their ATP. Goddamn, I know who players are good or not. I'm not perfect, but I predicted things like Kyle Hamilton falling in the NFL draft. I predicted Christian Gonzalez falling in the NFL draft. I predicted JOK to fall in the first round. I predicted Christian Darrisaw falling to the Commanders. I even gosh darn predicted that Mike Green, Nick Amenwari, and Carson Schwarzenegger, that's how you say his last name. I butcher names. Would fall to 29. The Commanders should take them. Obviously didn't. And we took a guy called Josh Connolly. Another reason why we sucked this year. He has been playing better, and he has a chance, and he has momentum going into the second year where he could become an actual really good tackle. So there is at least hope there. But I know what I'm talking about. You can trust. I'm not perfect. You guys can trust me. And I know what this team, I know this team's needs. I know what we have to do. All right. Let's get started. Let's see how this thing shapes up. Whew. This looks really interesting. So, obviously, you guys cannot tell. You guys do not know. The Commanders, even if they beat the Eagles next week, cannot pick further to pick 7. So this is fair. They're going to be picking top 7 guaranteed. They can jump the teams. They can jump teams like the Cardinals, Titans, and Jets if they win next week and we lose. If the Browns win next week, we jump them and we pick top 6. Um, so we might even be looking at this, and we can be looking at players like Garber Reese, Caleb Downs, right? Because I'm gonna say it's right now before we even get into this. Garber Reese and Caleb Downs are 2 players, in my opinion. If we see them on the draft board while we're selecting, I don't consider anybody else. I don't even consider trading back. Trading back might be a decent solution in an actual thought to be made. If Garber Reese and Caleb Downs are there, you pick one of them and you walk up there and you just take them and run out of there. Because, in my opinion, if the Commanders get Caleb Downs and Garber Reese, in my opinion, they win the draft because they still have pieces that can lead them to a good season. Caleb Downs would save the DB room. Garber Reese will fix our linebacker and our pass rush issues all in one. So that's what I'm gonna start off saying. Let's get into the players available. Look, no players I'm looking at right now is Jeremiah Love, obviously. Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, David Bailey, Makai Lemon, and Kedrick Folk and Mansour Delane. Look, let's get into all of these prospects of how if the Commanders why the Commanders should select them and why they should not select them, and if they're a good fit for the Commanders. Starting off with Jeremiah Love, the absolute freak from Notre Dame, the best running back in the draft, and it's not even close. This guy is no Ashton Jeanty. This guy is no Ashton Jeanty. But in my opinion, this guy might even be better because this guy has. He might not be better than Ashton Jeanty coming out of the NFL draft. He's improved each season in major stats in yards, attempts, and touchdowns. He also has some receiving aspect to him as well, with 27 receptions. But goddamn, this guy had 200 more rushing yards in 4 less games. Do we know how impressive that is? Gosh, this guy would transform our running back room. Even though we are already a really good running team, we have Krusky Merritt, we got Chris Rodriguez, we got Jeremy McNichols, even Austin Eckler. God damn, he's been injured so long. I forgot about. Oh my God, there's so many players I forgot on this team because every single gosh darn starter has been injured this year. Oh my God. God damn, I mean, God damn, the injuries got to us. Oh my goodness gracious. This is Commanders team, bro. God damn, but Jeremiah Love could definitely be a good fit. You take pressure off of Jay Daniels. I mean, like, God damn, let's compare it. Let's compare it. Caleb Williams has DeAndre Swift. He's playing really well this year. Gosh, Drake May has Ramondre Stevenson and Trayvon Henderson. Both of those running backs, by the way, I would take over any Commanders running back in a fucking heartbeat. Um, let's just add something completely different um to our offense. But I'm not feeling that much. You wanna know why? Because goddamn our wide receiver core sucks. Which leads me to Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson, oh my god. I love this. This guy is one of the best wide receiver prospects we've seen since Jamar Chase, for goddamn. Like, this guy is absolutely insane. This guy is a true number one. This guy can play him outside. You can play him with slot. This guy is 200 pounds and 6'2". And you can even play him slot. That's how good he is. That's how electric. That's how fast. That is how elusive this guy is. This guy is the best route runner in the NFL. This guy is one of the. I think he is. Maybe Mekhi Lemon is a little better route runner, but this guy's a top 2 route runner in the NFL draft. This guy has good hands. No, without what I talking about, Jordan Tyson is the best route runner in the NFL draft. This guy is super. This guy is one of the fastest one of the more faster wide receivers in the NFL draft. There's a reason why he's the best wide receiver in this draft by a decent margin. If you guys did not know, if you guys did not know, Jay Daniels had the second worst wide receiver separation rate in the NFL. Quarterbacks been playing. That is absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And to add on to that fact, Jay Daniels had the highest QB hurt drop rate in the NFL. No quarterback ever has set a bottom 2 wide receiver separation rate and top 2 in QB drop hurt rate. Ever. Jay Daniels has dealt with the worst situation of all time. No quarterback like Mahomes, Josh Allen, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, none of those quarterbacks I just mentioned would not succeed on the Commanders in Jay Daniels' situation. Goddamn, Caleb Williams is probably out of the NFL if he played with the Commanders. Drake May is probably a bust on the Commanders. And for what Jane Daniels has done, you could say Jane Daniels has not played good all year. But what Jane Daniels has done for how he's played pretty damn good for the shitty ass situation. And you know it's bad when we need defense badly. And I'm thinking Jordan Tyson already off the bat. Jordan Tyson, there's no cons about why we shouldn't select him. The only con that I can think of is that he's not defense. Can we put him at DB? Can we put him at DB? Dead ass. Can we put him at DB? I'm so. Can we put him at DB? That's the only thing I have to say about him. Only thing I say, Colonel Tate. He's around the same about Jordan Tyson. Look, he's 6'3", 1 inch taller, 5 pounds lighter. This guy is the best big body wide receiver in the NFL draft. This guy. Some comp is Mike Evans. He has really good hands. He's the best red zone threat in the NFL, and he is one of the better deep ball, deep threats in the draft this year. And Jane Daniels could even use that. Jane Daniels could use that to his advantage if we select him. Like Jane Daniels has one of the best deep balls in the NFL, and Connell Tate could exploit that. And Jane Daniels has top three ball placement for a quarterback in the NFL. And having a guy like Connell Tate on the outside in the red zone, that could be absolutely lethal for the Commanders. The only reason why the one con I will admit he's not the best route runner, and because of the fact that Jane Daniels generally just needs a single wide receiver to get separation. That I don't believe he's a guy that will actually get consistent separation, like a guy like Jordan Tyson or even Mickey Lemon will get. Jane Daniels is Jane Daniels is wide receiver one. Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin's not the good anymore, bro. I wish so much. Terry McLaurin, for when he said he's good. Terry McLaurin should be a wide receiver. He would be a good wide receiver too. He's a he's an average wide receiver one. I'm being so honest. Those days are done. Deebo Samuel was wide receiver two, and from one of the year Jane Daniels wide receiver one was Deebo Samuel. You guys remember when Jane Daniels' wide receiver one was Luke Gosh darn McCaffrey, and people were generally saying that he was a bust. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. I swear Twitter needs to be deleted. Twitter needs to be. And then Bears fans actually saw Jane Daniels play against a good defense, and they were like, "Oh my god, this guy's actually a good quarterback. What the fuck?" Oh my god. If you give Jane Daniels anyone, God, even Carl Tate would even help him out, man. Like, god damn. You know it's a bad one. Next one. I'm sorry. I had a rant about Jane Daniels. I'm sorry. Jane Daniels is the worst quarterback situation I've ever seen, and honestly, Jane Daniels is probably MVP of 20,000. I'm sorry, but moving on, moving on. David Bailey. David Bailey is the best pass rusher in the NFL draft. End of discussion. Not even a debate. 14 sacks. This guy averages more than a sack a game. This guy is the best player on the best defense in college. This guy is the best pass rusher. The only thing about him, though, he's not a player that I can ideally see in the NFL playing first, second, and third down. I can see this guy being put on third down. Let me check my battery real quick. Oh, we're doing well. Um, I mean, I can see him being used more as a third down type edge rusher, where he will be an absolute freak of nature and absolutely wreck the game on third down, because he will give you good pass rushing reps on third down, guaranteed. Can't imagine though the reason why though he's not a player that I could imagine actually playing first, second, third down is because he's not the best run defender. He's not the best run defender. He can work in that. He can definitely work in that area of play. He's definitely below average. He's a below average to average run defender for edge, but his pass rush ability is so elite that he's easily a top 10 prospect in this draft. Easily. I don't even think. And because the need of edge is so important, I will admit though, I think safety and cornerback are bigger needs in my opinion. Because at edge you got Jacob Martin. Johnny Newton actually had a really good game. He had a 3 sack game against Cowboys. He played really well. Von Miller's producing. George Armstrong was a top five edge before he got injured. The needs not that much compared to DB or like DB when we have Marshawn Lattimore. Are we dead ass? Marshawn Lattimore. Kill me. Trey Amos is the only good DB in that room right now. It's so bad. Who's our starting safety? Quan Martin, kill me. That Quan Martin is the reason why if Caleb down, if we had the first pick and Caleb down, yeah, like Quan Martin's so bad. Even if we had the first pick, I'm selecting fucking Caleb Downs, bro. It's like it's so bad that like it's so bad, and that's why I mean like it's so bad. The defense is so bad, and there's really no like the only con for Dave Bailey is like can he play wide receiver for Jay Daniels? Can he? Honest, Dave Bailey's probably a better wide receiver than Jared than Jalen Lane. So I mean yeah, but yeah, I mean goddamn, but definitely a player that we can be looking out for, and I would not ban it. Select him. Sonny Styles next out of the Ohio State. This guy is for what Bobby Wagner is right now. He's just a way better player than Bobby Wagner. I honestly believe Sonny Styles day one next year just better than Bobby Wagner immediately. Right now, like obviously prime Bobby Wagner is not even like Sonny Styles is not compared to Bobby Wagner, but Sonny Styles is right now for as of December 29th, 2025. Sonny Styles is a better tackling and coverage linebacker than Bobby Wagner. And like you could definitely and for like a team like this, so shit, like he had zero missed tackles this year. That's elite. That is elite. I don't think I've ever seen that stat before in a player who played for a team like the Ohio State. This could be very valuable and really important and critical for this team. So I would not even mind having selecting this guy at 7 either. Realistically, Mekhi Lemon, 1,100 receiving yards this year. This guy, Lemon, is an absolute dog. Check it. This guy has been one of the better wide receiver. He's been the best. He's been better wide receiver ever since the start of college. He's been getting better every single week. Um, this guy is the best slot wide receiver in the NFL draft. This guy is like he's 5'11", 195. This guy can do what he wants. He's a good route runner. He's contention. He is with contention with Jordan Tyson as the best route runner in the NFL draft. Okay, let me know. He has the best YAC ability, yards after catch. He's like Luther Burden, and we just saw the game against the 49ers. Luther Burden looks really gosh darn good. Michael Lemon might be Luther Burden, but better in my opinion. He's really fast, elusive, good route runner. Not as much as a jump ball type wide receiver, but he's a guy that will get behind your safeties, and you can put on a ball. And again, like just the thought of Jordan Tyson, Colonel Tate, and Makai Lemon, the guy for Jane Daniels, is just it feels so right, man. It feels so right because Jane Daniels needs somebody who can generally just run, bro. Like Jaden Daniels needs a decent wide receiver. He just needs somebody. Like God damn, man. He needs a decent wide receiver because he needs some genuine separation. Damn. Um. Again, like the only con is that he's not a like the only cons about Michael Lemon is that first off he can't play defense. Like oh gosh. Second con is that I can't really imagine him playing outside because I completely imagine that he cannot be a guy. He's not gonna be a red zone threat outside of maybe getting into like some zone holes, but he's not gonna be this big body wide receiver, contested catcher. He's gonna be a guy that's gonna just get past wide receiver, cornerbacks and safeties pretty easily and get pretty wide open. So yeah, like look, like majority of his snaps were in the slot. Like that's like low key values compared to a guy like Jordan Tyson here. More wide snaps. Colonel Tate. Not even any. Gosh, barely any slots left. If we were in term like in a normal situation, I would consider Michael a little bit more because he's a slot wide receiver, and we could definitely use a good slot wide receiver. Thing is, though, is that Terry McLaurin is 30. Um, if Terry McLaurin was like 27, 28, 26, I would prefer Micah Lemon because like you can play slot, you can Terry McLaurin outside Micah Lemon. That would be absolutely lethal, but that's not the case. You have to think Terry McLaurin replacement while he still has like what 1 or 2 more years of decent production. So that's why I prefer a guy like Jordan Tyson or Colonel Tate over Micah Lemon. But Micah Lemon, for not being a wide like a outside wide receiver, he just helps out Jane Daniels. He would help out like he would still help out Jane Daniels so much that like so I still do not think it cares. Like God, again, just a thought like a lemon, Carl Taylor, John Tyson on the Commanders would just oh my God, that would like save. That would be so helpful. Jerry McCoy. Well, the thing about Jerry McCoy, it's kind of weird. He's not played this year, so he's um he's definitely up there. I mean, didn't play this year. He dealt with injury. He's been improving each year. It just kind of sucks he got hurt. It really does suck. He's decently young, but the problem is that like he's not the best cornerback in the draft. And we could definitely use a cornerback. Don't get me wrong, but like he's not the best cornerback in the draft. Like I would stay away from this. I would stay away from this pick, but like I was like not hate it either if I was the Commanders. I would not hate this pick realistically, but I'm not the biggest fan. This guy is really good. Like look, 6 foot. He has ideal height. He has good ideal weight. He has some good arms. He has some decent playing speed. He's not. He can play. He can be a true wide cornerback one. It's the problem is of his it's the fact he got injured. Like the fact if he was healthy and he played and he was good, he could be the best cornerback since Patrick Surtain. Man, that would suck. But I don't even know. And I also don't think that much that risky because Mansfield Delane this year has just he's done it more for me than a guy like Jerry McCoy. Man, this guy's just a year younger, same height, same weight, not as good at arms, not as good playing speed. But he got led a 26.7 passer rating, got 0 touchdowns, and only 13 receptions. That is elite. That is elite. This guy primarily plays corner, and you can throw him in the box if you want him. If you want him to. This guy is the best quarterback in the draft. His only con is that he cannot help Jane Daniels out at the wide receiver room. Only con. The only con. Another con is that I just don't believe that he is for pound a that much of a good talent compared to other people on the board. He's the best cornerback in the NFL draft, but just like they're just better players on the board, like Jeremiah Love, Jordan Tyson, Colonel Tate, David Bailey, Sonny Styles, Michael Lemon, Jared McCoy, like not even Jared McCoy. Like I'd even take Sonny Styles over. Not I'm sorry, I didn't mean Jared McCoy. I'd take a guy like Sonny Styles. I'd take all of these players over Mansour Delane. But Mansour Delane, even if we do take him, I would not be mad at it because he could be a player who could be a cornerback one. We have look our DB room. We only have one good DB, and that's Trey Amos. Trey Amos, in my opinion, would be a really good cornerback too, and Mansour Delane could fit that role of a cornerback one and move Trey Amos to number two, and he could, and they can both just explode. We can have a really good edge rush, a really, really good and young quarterback room. Maybe Mike Sanders still actually has to leave. I don't believe we should leave. Should cut Mike Sanders still. I do believe we should keep him. If he's still a liability next year, get him the fuck out. But Master Delane definitely got to think about him as an actual player. Um, Kendrick Falk. Now he's the absolute opposite of David Bailey. This guy is not the best pass rusher. He's the below average pass rusher, but he is an elite run stopper. Because of that, Kendrick Falk can play first, second, and third down. He can. He has better measurables, and he's a better run stopper. And because of that, he can literally play all downs on defense. Look, his metrics are insane. He's 6'6", 285. He's a bit younger than David Bailey. He goes outside the tackle. He goes over or outside the tackle. More not outside the tackle. Yeah, he had 7 less sacks than last year, but like, I still believe that this guy could be a disruptor. Because if Kendrick Falk can become a really good pass rusher, this guy could be one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. He could be. So, but he's more of a project. I do believe Commanders need more impact than project at the moment. Um, Even though this guy's a boomer bust. Even though this guy could boom so well, this guy could be the best edge rusher in the NFL. Like boom, this guy could boom so much. This guy could be the best edge rusher in the NFL, and I don't think that's great to say. But this guy could bust so much as you can see this guy on the Rams in like 2 years. So, um, Emmanuel Forbes shade right there. Sorry, but yeah, I mean, don't believe it's that risky. But like another player I'd even throw in here is looking at the board here. I don't really think any of these players at number 7 even entertain the fact. Like, my opinion, Casey Concepcion or R. Mason Thomas are good trade down options. But like honestly, like look, R. Mason Thomas, he might be a top 15 draft prospect come NFL draft, bro. Like, this guy might be top 15, might be top 10 come NFL draft. This guy gets Senior Bowl and then the combine. This guy could be a really good prospect. Looking at give you guys more Francis Managa and Spencer Fano, really good at tackle positions. Maybe on Terrell, guys like there's some good options here. TJ Parker too. I mean, look, this guy could be. If he were actually good this year, this guy could be an option for us. But no, we're not. Of course, we had to fucking sell the bag, and we had to fucking suck. And of course, now everyone had to get injured, and of course, we had to suck. Now looking at everything here, for what it is, running back is nowhere close to as important as wide receiver. And I do believe, regardless, we were still one of the best running teams in the NFL, even with Chris Kamara, Chris Rodriguez, Jerry McNichols, and like a game and a half of Austin Eckler. I mean, I think we'll be fine without Jeremiah Love, and I do believe we should give it another chance. Because I do not believe you can find a guy like you can find a really good running back in Jeremiah Love. You can find a really good edge rusher in. I'm sorry, you can find a really good running back in free agency. You can find a really good edge rusher in free agency. You can find a really good linebacker in free agency. You can find a good cornerback in free agency. It's harder to get a good wide receiver in free agency, especially a great one like in Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson right now is taking the cake for me. This guy is perfect measure. This guy is in my opinion, one of the perfect uh, draft prospects for a wide receiver in a very long time because this guy is big, fast, great route, probably the best route runner in the NFL, maybe if not the second best route runner in the NFL drafts. Good hands. Like this guy, there's no cons about it. The only con that I can genuinely pull out of my ass is that he just does not play defense. He just does not play defense. Like honestly, I just think it matters if you can just if you can get some good young impact players in defense, he could be having a good time with Jordan Tyson. Like, I would usually go David Bailey here. Maybe even some Kendrick Falk, Master Delan. Maybe even throw in a Sonny Styles at one point. I'll be doing many of these. Like, you can be doing a lot of things here, right? But Jordan Tyson, in my opinion, looks like the pick to go here, right? Jay Daniels has the worst quarterback situation of all time. You need a player who can give you. Jay Daniels had the second worst wide receiver separation rate ever this season. You need a guy that can be on the outside, not just in the slot, and get open. And Jordan Tyson can't do that. Now, obviously, a guy like Mekhi Lemon might even be better for that, but we don't have that option because Terry McLaurin is literally 2 years away from being a fucking washed bum. Like, yes, we can suck next year and get Jeremiah Smith, but are we gonna suck that badly? Are we gonna suck top three bad with Jaden Daniels? I don't think so. I just don't think so. And my opinion, none of these draft prospects outside of David Bailey and Jeremiah Love really give me anything crazy to say. Like, gives me anything like Peter Woods. I would even consider Peter Woods could be someone who I could see selecting. Like Jeremiah Love, he's one of the best elusive running backs we've seen in a very long time. This guy can get fits through holes. This guy can, and then get to the second level, and then get past the third level really easily. This guy is a 5+ yard per carry type player. So that's why I'm considering too. And Dave Bailey is because he's a really good pass rush. But none of these other players do it for me, and then Jordan Tyson just does it for me, to be fair. And I'm like, I don't think we're gonna be Jeremiah Love. Uh, I'm sorry, Jeremiah Smith. I don't think we'll be Jeremiah Smith bad this year. I'm sorry, just to clarify, when I was saying are we gonna really suck so much next year, we're gonna be Jeremiah Love bad, I was saying are we gonna suck so much we're gonna be top three for like Jeremiah Smith bad? Because he's gonna be a top three pick easily next year. Are we really gonna be Jeremiah Smith bad next year? I don't think so. And because of that, I do believe, and because of that, and also the fact that like none of these other players, like none of these players outside of maybe Jeremiah Love and David Bailey do it for me. Jordan Tyson sounds like the pick here. Obviously, if Arvo Reese, Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, or even Peter Woods are on here, it's more of a conversation. But they're not on here. And now I will admit, if Caleb Downs and Jordan Tyson are on the board, I'm taking Caleb Downs. If Arvo Reese and Jordan Tyson are on the board, I'm taking Arvo Reese. Like Arvo Reese and Caleb Downs are two players that I'm taking over anyone in this draft with the Commanders. But Jordan Tyson, when both of those are off the board, especially even Ruben Bain and maybe even Peter Woods, Jordan Tyson, in my opinion, is a selection. You give Jane Daniels a player that can. You give Jane Daniels a wide receiver who can separate on the outside, who can catch and have. And Jordan Tyson's really good at the yak. He's a he's probably the second best. He's the second best player in this NFL draft at the yak, at yards at the catch. Jane Daniels has not even played with wide receiver. Jane Daniels has the worst quarterback situation in the first 2 years ever, and he still has two playoff wins. Jane Daniels is generational. Jane Daniels has the potential to be the best quarterback since Patrick fucking Mahomes in his prime. You gotta give him weapons. You gotta do it. You have to do it. Jordan Tyson is a selection. Absolutely knock it out of the park. I'm sorry, but like you can't hate the pick. You can't hate it. One thing I don't like it's not defense, and our defense might suck, but you can find players on free agency who can be really good to elite on your team the next year. You can't find a player like that's going to become a good or elite really good or elite wide receiver in free agency. That's why people select wide receivers really high, and that's why people don't really take. That's why people don't really entertain the fact of linebacker. That's why you take Jordan Tyson here because we don't know what happens free agency. Obviously, with after free agency, that's going to affect my pick here. But right here, knowing that what free agency is and what we can get in free agency, and what the possibility and the potential free agency, and what's on the draft, Jordan Tyson is the pick. VJ Daniels, he's a true wide receiver one for the first time in his 2 year career, going to his third year. You cannot hate it because you give Jay Daniels his wide receiver, even from Arizona, because Jay Daniels with Arizona State. You give Jay Daniels the wide receiver one for the rest of his career. Do not hate it. Jordan Tyson, in my opinion, has potential to become a top 5 wide receiver in 2 years. Jordan Tyson has become even. Jordan Tyson has potential to become a top 3 wide receiver in 2 years. Book it, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna be it. That's what the Commanders should do as a 7th overall pick as of late December. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. I'll see you guys in the next one. Probably another mock draft, or it's probably gonna be a video about why the Commanders should select Jordan Tyson. So I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.